Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Round 13 Tigercast Player of the Year votes. An interesting week this week, and you'll see why very, very shortly. But EJ, welcome, mate. How are you feeling about the votes this week? Bit difficult?
Very difficult. I think it's always difficult when the team doesn't play well. You know, like the St Kilda game, it's hard to find the positives.
Yeah, you start really digging deep to find something to latch onto. But look, I think there's a little bit of consistency across the vote. Surprisingly, I usually feel like in games like that, it can kind of go all over the shop because people just find smaller things to give votes for. But we'll jump across and bring them up. We'll start with the 5 votes. Now, we will notice that there's a column that's blank, and CB hasn't watched a minute of the game, so hasn't been able to submit votes. I'm not sure what this does to the integrity of the whole thing. I don't know whether we need to get retrospective votes or get some audience votes. I don't know, because if someone loses by 5 votes, it's going to cause chaos.
Well, let's be honest. As referenced earlier in the season, CB and voting integrity don't exactly go hand in hand, do they?
No, I was actually half-minded just to copy your votes across and just as per usual.
What about taking a poll of what the viewers put in and aggregating it and assigning the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 from that?
Yeah, we could definitely do that. Yeah, or we can check the we can do a poll like that, or check the autopsy thread and see what the top 5 were there as well.
Let's do the autopsy thread
because the data will already be there. We'll do that. We'll update it at a later date.
Yeah.
But for the 5 votes, Grok went Dion Prestia. You, Tiggs, and I all went for Ben Miller.
Yeah. I think he had about 8 intercepts. He went by 85% by foot. He kept his opponent reasonably quiet again. He's having a really good season and especially a good last sort of month. Not too much to knock about Miller at the moment.
No, it's been a very good month and almost a little bit of an underrated month in some ways as well. So I thought he was super. And he's kept some big names goalless, like Jesse Hogan goals. I think Peter Wright was goalless, and there was maybe someone else in the mix as well. So he's done a really, really good job. For the 4 votes, Grok and Tiggs went for Tim Taranto, and you and I both went for Tom Brown.
Yeah, I actually thought that, look, our midfielders played all right, did what they did. But I didn't think it was as obvious as other weeks. Tom Brown might be his best game, one of his better games.
Definitely.
He's always been good by foot, but he's been more defensively accountable. And, it's really good to see his development. As I think we've found that long-term Vlosten replacement. I wasn't as sure probably last season, but I'm pretty comfortable with it.
And it was the 9 marks as well, wasn't it? Like reading the flight of the ball, getting into the right positions. It was a good game, and it was actually quite timely with Vlosten being tagged, so it actually worked out really well. For the 3 votes, Grok went for Luke Traynor, Tiggs went for Toby Nankervis. I went for your man, Kane McAuliffe. Despite being on the lowest end of the time on ground, I thought his disposal was a lot better. I loved his marks in the packs, going for the back with the flight of the ball, showed some good strength and courage. And I thought it was just another really solid performance. And it was probably more to do with that I felt like he competed hard for 4 quarters, despite not being on the ground as much as other people. For your 3 votes, you went for Dion Prestia.
Yeah, look, he was unbelievable early and then went a little bit quieter, due to having someone sit on him. That Rowbottom is a pest. He's a really, really good player and a great tackler. But his contested numbers, I don't think I've ever seen someone come back from injury and go straight to their level as good as what Prestia does.
It was pretty good.
That's 2 games. Yeah, that's 2 games back now. He's been fantastic. What
about his goal? The double foot candy on the boundary line. That was almost Joel Bowden areas against St Kilda.
That's a really good reference. I actually thought, what are you doing with the first one? And then I thought the second one, oh, he's going to get tackled 100% here.
Yeah.
But no, it was fantastic.
And usually
Yeah,
players end up
awesome.
missing those shots, don't they? They end up just botching the kick. But the fact he slotted it, that was unbelievable. The 2 votes, I went for Luke Traynor. I really loved his game. He's just he's kind of hitting above 15 disposals most weeks now. He's becoming a lot more consistent. Yes, he's turned a couple of kicks over, but he's learning. And like you always say, he's at least making the decision quickly. He's committing to it, and whatever happens, happens. Tiggs went for Bolter. Grock went for Seth Campbell, and you went for your man, Kane McAuliffe.
First time I've given him votes.
Yeah, well deserved as well.
Yeah. Look, as you said, for what he's producing for the time on ground at the moment, is fantastic. As we referenced in the other video, the fact that he sat under the ball and took, quite a couple of marks there, he's disposable by foot, is really clean, and he's competitive. Like he got separated at a stoppage, I think twice, that I thought was negative. Like he lost his opponent at the stoppage, but apart from that, I think he played a really solid game.
He did. He was good. And the 1 vote, I went for Dion Prestia, much for the reasons that you mentioned. Getting back to that level was pretty good. And his first quarter alone, like 13 touches or whatever it was, the goal, it was quite something, to be honest. Grock went for Kane McAuliffe, and Tiggs and yourself went for Luke Traynor.
Yeah, for all the reasons mentioned. As you said, he's versatile. He can play anywhere, but he played really well. I think, what do you have, 19 or 24 or something?
Yeah, I think it was 19, roughly, yeah.
Yeah, he's going really well. I thought he needed a break, but that was probably his best game for probably a month, I reckon.
Yeah, I think a lot of us thought he needed the break as well, but he managed to get through and put in a good performance. And now he gets the break that we all thought he needed, that maybe he didn't. But they are the votes for the week, and we will update this table to include the autopsy thread votes to cater for CB. But Tim Taranto has shot back up to the top of the leaderboard on 150 votes. Hopper not far behind, 147. Then you got Vloston, 76. Nate, 70. Seth, 57. Miller jumped up a bit this week on 47. Traynor, it's doing Traynor things on 46. Banks, 39. Ross is still up there. Lawler's still up there despite not playing for the last however many weeks. And then it scales down from there. But, yeah, the top 2 are still going to be very difficult to catch.
Yeah, they can't be caught.
No, it'll take something quite remarkable to catch them. But it's good to see some young kids getting some votes in there as well, which is nice too.
It will take a sudden lack of fitness,
yes,
from one of those players, a lack of fitness note for that to happen.
The other thing that could happen is I sometimes worry that we might burn them out because they do so much heavy lifting in the midfield and have all year. Like we don't really rotate them out all that often, that by the latter part of the year they might be cooked. But by then the lead could be just too far gone. It almost is now. So yeah, they might be well and truly safe. But they are the votes for round 13 against the Swans. A little bit of slim pickings, but we think we've got it about right. Let us know what you would have voted for in the comments below. Your 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Obviously, there won't be a video of this nature next week with the bye, and we'll resume normal recordings after the Bulldogs game. But thank you again, EJ, for tonight, and we will see you for the Bulldogs game.